Hello, my name is Chad Mairn, and I am an Information Services Librarian and Adjunct Instructor at the West Community Library at St. Petersburg College. I wish I was able to make the trip to be physically with all of you today, but thanks to modern internet technology, I will be there after this video presentation to answer any questions that you may have. Also, the screenshots and my references will be available at www.slideshare.net/CHADMAIRN. Before discussing how I integrate services and content into learning management systems, oftentimes referred to as course management systems, I'd like to speak just a little about where I work. The West St. Petersburg Community Library is a joint-use library. This partnership is between St. Petersburg College, which has grown from a 2-year junior college to a 4-year state college, and the city of St. Petersburg, Florida. We provide users with a great range of library materials and services in one library with the help of public funds and by sharing operating and staffing costs. So we serve public library users, students, and faculty. Today I plan to talk about how one can incorporate a variety of, for the most part, freely available technologies to help make library resources more visible and usable within course management systems, which I will now refer to as CMSs for the remainder of this talk. One thing to keep in mind, however, is that even though I am focusing this talk more towards academic libraries, that a public and/or a special library could incorporate everything that I discussed today. And you don't really need to spend a ridiculous amount of money because there are open source CMSs that can provide distance learning opportunities for your users. Although there are many ways to seamlessly incorporate library resources into CMSs, I plan to discuss how I've included and shown faculty how to include mashups, RSS feeds, desktop sharing, Jing, Twitter, and embedded librarians into our CMS, which we use Angel, to help make our courses more dynamic and meaningful to students. By the way, everything I mentioned today will work in any CMS because the technologies used are common technologies like HTML, JavaScript, and others. Perhaps the easiest and most used method for integrating content into a CMS is to create persistent links. Many professors are now starting to include persistent links to ebooks and other electronic content within their course syllabi and within their online courses. Face-to-face courses also have access to our CMS, so these resources are available to those students as well. In addition to using persistent links, I create course accounts in NetLibrary, EBSCO, and other online services so that students can have more quality time to digest and reflect on course-related content because there are predefined searches, journal alerts, ebooks, notes, and more that are easily accessible. It is great because students don't have to jump through several hoops to find the content. The content you want them to have is already there. Of course, I do provide my students and other users that visit the library, and those who don't, ample opportunities to discover information on their own. Meebo, Skype, Yahoo, Facebook, Google Talk, and many other chat and voice over IP applications are easy to incorporate into CMSs. That way you can be where your users are at their point of need. I log into Meebo, Google Talk, and an SPC-developed application every morning, and the widgets are available in my online courses as well as on my web pages. These synchronous communication tools are used equally, if not more, than email. I am also available to answer student questions via Facebook, Twitter, text messaging, and most recently via Google Voice. Of course, I provide parameters in the course syllabi that state when I am available because I would not be very happy to get that phone call at 2 a.m. Mashups are an excellent way to modify existing applications or freely available content into something more meaningful and useful that can easily incorporate into CMSs or library websites. For example, Yahoo Pipes has a visual interface that allows you to move configurable modules to a canvas where you can then rewire them to other modules using your mouse. I very rarely create my own pipes from scratch. Instead, I browse existing pipes, modify them, and then save them to suit my needs. For my basic computer and information literacy classes, I modified an existing pipe that fetches technology news feeds from multiple sources using RSS. It truncates each feed to only 5 items. It uses the union module to merge up to 5 separate sources into a single list of items. It sorts them by title, and it also uses the unique module to remove duplicate items. After I run the pipe and confirm that it works, I integrate it into my online course. I then ask students to visit the pipe weekly, which to them appears automatically as an updated web page in the CMS, and to pick an interesting article to read and then to present to their classmates via the discussion board or through their Twitter accounts. I'll discuss Twitter in more detail later. According to Wikipedia, RSS, or Really Simple Syndication, is a family of web feed formats used to publish frequently updated works, like blog postings, news headlines, audio, video, pretty much anything electronic into a standardized format. The mashup I just described works primarily because of RSS. So if you don't feel inclined to tackle the slight learning curve involved with creating or modifying mashups, you can almost effortlessly add RSS feeds into your CMS. For RSS, I conduct searches in popular databases like Academic Search Complete and find the RSS button for a particular search or a journal alert or whatever it is. Then all I do is copy the URL and build the feed using feed2js.org. It takes a few minutes to change some of the feed's display characteristics, like number of items to display or to show or hide